In the last episode, all of our thoughts and suspicions were vindicated.
Speaking of vindication, where are the Bittersweet gamers?
Will that continue to happen in this episode?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm the Opinionator.
And I'm We Squared. Don't sound so deflated, buddy.
I do wonder if all the roots are true. I assume so, but... Alright, you. It's time to talk about this stuff.
It looks like Oda has calmed down. He's still glaring daggers at me, but that's his default. Hey, you okay?
Okay? How could I be okay? I got stabbed by a serial killer.
Easy, kid. You're gonna open up your stitches.
Well, they let you out of the hospital. So, why they let you out of the hospital?
When I was in the hospital, the police came to me. They told me that my mom confessed. I couldn't believe it, so I went to the police station. But because she was under investigation, they wouldn't let me see her. After that, I didn't feel like going back to the hospital.
You had that option? Okay.
Mizuki was kind of allowed to just run around unattended too.
That's why I'm here.
Well, I know that in Japan, they are super big on hospital stays. Like, some people get admitted for a day for having a cold.
Jeez.
It's just the way it is there. So it's weird for them to just run around like that.
Well, it's not like Mayumi's under arrest.
Well, I mean...
You asked me why your mom was arrested earlier, but she isn't under arrest.
They're still investigating all that stuff.
Well, I mean, if some rando comes up and confesses and has this cockamamie story, on the one hand, you can't ignore it, but on the other hand, you're like, That's a very scientific term.
What?
I did not know that. I'm glad you told me.
I spoke with her as part of my investigation, yes. But as a source of valuable information, not as a suspect. Mayumi confessed, but it's highly likely that she's lying.
That is a very understated way of putting that, yes.
So we haven't issued a warrant for her arrest.
That's what I've been saying. Mom didn't do it. She's innocent.
And I've been saying I believe you, Ota.
But there's one person in this group of three that disagrees, and that is Mayumi.
I ask this with trepidation because I know how you're going to react. But is Iris the criminal?
Word is going around.
People say.
Maybe Iris was the one who killed Shoko and Renju. And you and her planned this warehouse incident to get her off our suspects list.
No way! Tessa had her eye.
She could have pulled it out herself.
Yeah, and could have said nothing to you that was going to happen.
That's true.
Or asked you to do it.
You're kidding me, right? Do you really think I would do that?
Well, I wouldn't have thought you'd wang a police officer over the head with a wok, but here we are.
And that smile?
The knife?
Well, I was gonna
Oh.
say the weird way that Mayumi walked out after Iris. If she does have some ability to do that, maybe she doesn't, but it was still weird.
It was really weird.
It was really weird. Okay? If she does have something like that, maybe she did it to you.
Yeah.
I was fighting for my life against the criminal.
That wasn't caught on camera, though. Neither was the part where you got stabbed.
You're saying that I stabbed myself?
Probably not, but you might have. If you were able to take the eye out, you might have stabbed yourself.
It wouldn't be the first time you faked something, would it, Ota?
He had to have been stabbed, though, because he was
That's
at the
true.
hospital!
Yeah, no, he was in fact stabbed.
You...
Huh.
I'd just like to point out that I mentioned the catfishing way earlier.
Catfishing? Catfishing!
I'm sorry, sock puppeting, that's a different term.
Come to think of it, I could go for some catfish. I haven't had any in a long time.
So did you stage the warehouse incident?
I'm telling you, I didn't!
Then why is Mayumi protecting you?
Mom is protecting me?
Your mother is stubborn. She's lying to us because she's protecting someone.
Look, it is totally possible that he has been used throughout whatever weirdness has been going on. It's possible he has literally nothing to do with it, though that would mean his mom actually does have something to do with it, and that's really weird. but the way he keeps acting does not make it seem as though he has nothing to do with this.
Now, he could just be an idiot that doesn't make good choices.
That's very possible, yeah. He could even be utterly faking the bad at lying thing.
Oh.
The only person I can think of would be you.
Why?
Apparently, she thinks that you're the criminal.
Why would she think that?
Why do you think I'm talking to you? I mean, I didn't know you were going to be here, but it's really convenient that you are.
Your guess is as good as mine. Got any ideas?
By the way, you don't get to leave. And if you go for a walk or for a knife, kid, you're out of chances. So let's talk really seriously. Hey, it's just like all the stuff that's happened with the Kumakuras. We can cooperate. You understand? We can cooperate. Come, Ota. Let us cooperate. Do you understand?
Maybe because of her condition. Mom has dementia.
Yeah, unfortunately, we know that.
Maybe her memory is just mixed up.
For someone whose memory is mixed up, she sure knows all the deets about the victims of the new Cyclops serial killings.
So about Mayumi's dementia, I realize this is a touchy subject.
Everything is my fault.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
It's because of me that Mom is...
Really?
I know how it looks now, but back in the day, the diner was doing pretty good.
Dude, you didn't destroy the Kabasaki district, did you?
I think we made a big leap in logic somewhere around here.
You know Bloom Park is close by here, right?
I'm familiar.
People who visited the park would stop here a lot. But ever since the explosion 8 years ago...
The chemical plant accident?
Again, how is this your fault?
Yeah. We're just barely outside of the restricted area, but because Bloom Park closed, the number of customers dropped by a lot. The diner didn't last much longer.
Right.
When this place closed, Dad started working at a Chinese restaurant chain during the day, and he was a security guard and traffic cop at night.
God, poor guy. Man, having to work that hard before he's even evolved into Dreadnought.
Stop stepping on my shtick! I make the Pokemon jokes around here!
Well, you've been falling down on the job, so I thought I'd horn in.
Mom worked as a janitor.
No, seriously, that's awful.
They were both working hard and barely got any sleep.
That is a tragedy.
And you?
I was just a high school student at the time. I was such a dumbass.
We all were, man. We all were.
I thought it was totally normal to have both parents working, so I didn't even get a part-time job.
He's blaming himself for them having to work so hard to support the family.
Like I'd said around at some point in the Mizuki route. God dang it! I don't want to keep it a burp, but now I have to because you had a funny response. You cannot help but blame yourself. Whether it's fair to blame yourself or not, it seems like everyone in the situation blames themselves, and the worst part about it is you can make a good argument for why you should blame yourself. It's not out of nowhere, it's not out of left field. That doesn't mean that it is your fault, but as long as you can easily convince yourself that it is, it's like inherent, you know?
Like I said last time, yes, I know.
And they bought me a PC and Idol concert tickets.
Wow!
Well,
I had it good.
Yeah, they wanted to take care of their boy.
But we were drowning in debt.
Dead?
And there's a loan on the house and the diner.
Right.
Mom and Dad didn't let this place go. There are too many memories here to give it up. So they slaved day and night to keep it open.
Memories. It's a pretty common theme in this game, and Date doesn't have any memories from beyond 5-6 years ago.
That's a good point.
They worked and worked and worked.
That is a good point, yeah.
Thanks to them, I was even able to go to a good university, but right after I started, Dad...
Yeah.
Passed away?
Yeah. He had a heart attack. From overwork. But even then, I didn't get it, you know? I didn't appreciate how hard they worked for me.
Well, whatever's going on, or whether you have anything to do with any of it or not, this is all genuine, and you understand it now.
Yeah.
That's
important.
That means something.
Even when I wasn't taking college seriously and getting bad grades, my mom didn't say a thing. She just smiled and told me that it was okay. Even when I told her I was going to drop out. Mom, I'm thinking of dropping out of college.
What? Why do you want to do that, Ota?
I decided that I'm going to become a writer.
Wow, a writer? Oh, that's a good goal to have. But you really should finish college. You worked so hard to get in.
You don't understand, Mom. A writer has to put all of their time into their creativity. I won't have time to go to classes. Plus, I'm friends with the editor of a publishing company.
It's not like he's wrong, but that's a convenient excuse to not want to do something difficult. And this is like, what he's saying right here is like leaning on his connections, which, if you can, I suppose you might as well, but he's behaving like a brat. Which, by the way, he is blaming himself for acting like a brat.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going to have my first book published.
Yeah, how's that working out?
Have you ever finished it?
Is that right? Well, Ota, if you say so, I won't stop you. Do what makes you happy. You'll turn out just fine. I know you can do it. And no matter what happens, Mom will always be on your side, okay? Forever and ever. I'll always support you, Ota.
You lied about the editor thing, didn't you?
Yeah, how do you guess?
I'm just that good.
Perhaps another reason he hangs around Lemniscate?
It was really just a few texts back and forth. But I was thrilled.
Yeah.
I thought I could make it as a writer because of that. But it's impossible. I know there's no way I can be a writer.
No discipline?
I've never even finished writing a novel. Not even once.
Something that I've heard from a lot of authors, I don't mean in person. Everyone wants to have written a book. No one wants to write a book.
I always give up after the first 5,000 words.
My father's written a few novels, and he busted his butt. I know exactly how much work goes into that.
To even apply for the amateurs contest, you have to submit 10 times that. But Mom, she kept supporting me.
When did Mayumi's illness start?
Not long after I quit college. Mom was always smiling at me. But I think she was starting to slip mentally. One day.
Oh, what's wrong, Ota? Do you have the day off from school?
Are you being sarcastic?
Oh, right. You don't attend anymore. Oopsie, I totally forgot.
How can you forget your own son's career choice?
Sorry. Anyway, are you hungry? You haven't eaten anything since this morning, have you?
Are you kidding?
What?
I ate breakfast and lunch already.
Oh, did you?
You just didn't understand.
Right.
By the way, Ota, what's living at the dorms like?
Why are you making fun of me?
I'm not teasing you, honey.
I mean, his response is reasonable, but that's because he doesn't understand.
Yeah!
Don't fuck with me!
And the pain. It's not like I know anything about it, but that pain, you know, I couldn't even imagine seeing it. Seeing someone that you care for and you're really close to. And I have such complicated feelings towards Ota. On the one hand, I really do like him. I really was rooting for him before, and there's a lot of things about him that I really respect. It's just, he's so damn suspicious! God, poor guy. By the way, why does it keep going back to the cursor?
Yeah, I don't really understand. Like, one second, do you think I'm going to maybe look at something else? Or maybe now I will spend this time to, let's look at my shoe. No, I'm going to want to listen to the rest of the frickin' story.
Billy,
Yeah.
go back to the shoe.
Yeah. Well, okay, I mean, technically he should have his shoe off, and that should be his sock.
That is hilarious!
Stop focusing so much on defeat. Let's listen to the rest of the story.
Because we needed that break.
I got sick because I'm such a piece of shit. I was only thinking about myself. I didn't take care of her.
There's nothing you could have done about something like this, though.
Well,
I was so stupid, I didn't realize she was sick. I thought she was messing with me. I was so cruel to her for no reason.
and then like I'd said before, when I was really sticking up for the guy, like about the calling the police, like he does realize, he does understand. Translating that into behavior is extremely challenging too. I mean, we all know that.
And she got worse and worse.
So about that picture.
What's that picture?
It's the same picture it was before, I'm sure. Oda turned the photo frame to me so I could see.
Looking at this photo reminds me, one time when I was a kid, I said something really bad to Mom and Dad, and they scolded me for it.
Just getting a lot of flashbacks to Mizuki's route and her reminiscing about her parents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like it was an apology or anything, but Dad and I gave her a Mother's Day gift.
You know, we were expecting like a supernatural-ish, trippy, plot-bombing Uchikoshi game, and we kind of just got an excursus on being a parent and being a child.
Yeah! Now, that's not saying that the supernatural plot bombing might not come later, but...
My mom was so happy that she cried. That's what this photo is from.
Yeah, we know. And even if he is involved, I don't think anything that he said here is not genuine.
I agree.
Why did it turn out like this? I'm such a bad son.
Hey, Aiba.
What is it?
I don't like Ota one bit,
At least he's honest.
but I can't imagine that this guy's the criminal.
Why is that?
Hearing his story made me think that he's not such a bad guy.
I mean, sort of what was I saying? But then why is he so stinking suspicious?
Being suspicious is not against the law.
Your presumption is illogical.
You are correct.
Human beings are illogical. We're not like you AI. We can't be logical all the time. But we make up for it in one very important way.
What is that?
Whenever we see a porno mag, we get super... I'll stop.
Intuition.
Do you find that useful?
Yes.
At times.
I find that very useful.
The fact of the matter is, we aren't inherently rational. We have to learn that. I'm not dinging rationality, but we are not that.
Look at a child and you will understand completely.
You have to learn it. It's a useful skill, but the inherent nature of human beings is acting emotively and intuitively. In fact, most people even act intuitively and then backfill it with rationality.
Right.
And by which I am not saying, but I, the superior man, do not do such things. Of course I do. I do the exact same thing.
Aiba, let's go back to the cold storage warehouse. We might be missing something.
Interesting that I don't have a list of places to explore.
How would you know?
Understood.
Interesting that I don't have a list of places to... Well, let's find out. Okay, interesting that I don't have a list of places to explore.
Is it really interesting that you don't have a list of places to explore?
It's fascinating.
How fascinating is it?
It's so fascinating my head's going to explode.
All right, I'll freely admit it. You caught me off guard with that, and I don't know what to say. Why are the cars still there?
Date, weren't you going to check the warehouse?
I was, but a thought occurred to me.
What if Soul Sejima is standing way off in the distance?
No, that happens later.
No, sorry, you're right. Though that's the first place my eyes went.
Me too! I'm not gonna lie.
Aiba, what's in this box?
Your favorite kind of reading material. And a lot of it.
Porno mags? What? Where?
academic research papers on criminology?
Uh-huh.
No, the kind that features gratuitous nudity.
Gotta make up some excuse to grab that box.
Okay, that's enough.
The water of Tokyo Bay.
Date, look! A tonguefish on the ocean floor.
What's a tonguefish?
A flat fish, like the sole of a shoe.
How does it taste?
With its tongue.
You can see all the way down there?
Of course I can. My vision and my looks are my best qualities.
Was that a pun?
Yeah. It didn't really work so well in English, but...
There's an oil drum.
Hi, I'm Drum on.
Haha, I see what you did there.
It's not blue and there's no cats. Or robots. Where's makeup?
You say strange things sometimes.
Stacked containers. If I put that corner container in an empty slot, would the bottom line disappear? This isn't Tetris, my friend. A mooring post. A pillar to
Date,
moor a ship.
Do you know what a bollard is?
Of course. It's a type of duck.
No, that's a mallard.
That's a mallard.
A bollard is the game you play with the pool cue and...
No, that's billiards.
Oh, okay.
Aiba, who drove the van here?
There are two possibilities. Either Iris or the criminal who kidnapped Iris.
And Mayumi?
Considering the time that she purchased
Yeah.
the chocolate, that would be almost impossible.
Yes.
The van was hijacked from the Famisto parking lot at 10:32 p.m.
We need some, like, instantaneous transmission to make this happen.
At that time, Mayumi was in the 812 convenience store more than 100 yards away.
Aiba, are you sure that Ota took this car?
As I've already explained, the security cameras at the Famisto parking lot saw the entire incident clearly.
Do you remember if there was an owner mentioned?
I don't recall.
So it was definitely Ota who drove it here.
Why are you stating the obvious?
We do need to look into who owns that car. I mean, maybe we don't, but
I kind of feel like that's important.
I kind of feel like that would lead to so.
We found the chocolate Mayumi bought on the floor of the cold storage warehouse. But that doesn't prove she was actually at the scene.
Yeah, I mean, she bought it.
And what? Tossed it in the open window of a car as it drove by? Handed it off like some sort of relay baton?
Well, we don't know how she got to that place. That's not where she lives. And when you consider that her own vehicle was...
Right, that was already being used. Okay, that makes
Well, like
sense.
100 yards away was her vehicle? Or was that... Which one was parked at the Famisto?
Both of them were. The family van was parked there. Ota got out to buy something.
Okay,
and the
yeah,
culprit
so...
drove off with Iris, and then he janked the station wagon, which was also at
Yeah,
the
so at
Famisto.
10:33, she bought this, and via an entirely different means of transportation, that thing that she bought ended up at this warehouse.
Yes.
If she was, how did she get here? She wasn't in the van or the station wagon.
Of course, a different car. I will search for all vehicles that were in this area from Sunday night to Monday morning.
Well, shouldn't you have already done that? Because didn't the person in the polar bear suit leave in one of the vehicles? Or leave in a vehicle?
Yeah, he must have.
Either that, or he was already there and was Ota.
Yes.
But we seem to know that it was so,
Yes.
unless reality changes, so...
Yes? Aiba connected to the in-system server and began her research. She got a result in no time.
Found one hit. A taxi.
Where's that taxi now?
I wonder what they thought. Ah, well, I guess they thought they were getting paid.
Hi, Polar Bear.
It is parked in Lemniscate's parking lot.
Oh, yeah?
At Lemniscate. Why?
Unknown. But we should speak with the driver immediately.
The taxi is in Lemniscate's parking lot.
Yes.
Hey, got a minute?
Are you talking to moi?
No! Get away from me, you horrifying person!
That looks exactly like all the taxi drivers that I remember. Okay, that's not true, but it looks like the first one.
Moi?
Date, now is not the time to be distracted by this old man's diction.
I'm too busy being distracted by his weird face.
Mind if I ask you what you're doing here?
Moi? I am but a humble taxicab driver.
There we go.
I'm with the police. I have some questions for you.
Why do you look like a creepypasta?
Or rather, why are you here?
Well, maybe he was dropping someone off here, or was supposed to be here to pick someone up. That's not that strange, right?
Well, you know what to do.
A potted plant.
Date, look! An antlion!
I was wondering what was going to be in here. Apparently there is someone seriously stocking these plants up with bugs.
Yay! Go, antlion!
No, antlions are awesome.
It shouldn't be here. This isn't the right terrain for an antlion.
Yeah, somebody goes and puts, like, we've had a stink bug, a Hercules beetle, and an antlion. This isn't accidental. There is someone deliberately involved in this. I bet they have everything to do with this case.
We must get to the bottom of the conspiracy. Iba has a strange fascination with insects. A sofa.
Sofa King.
Don't.
Is he gonna say a high school?
A high stool. It's like a tall seat.
Why are you stating the obvious?
Because this is how far we are in the game, sweetie. Lots of magazines in that
Featured.
rack.
Anyone can run a pyramid scheme. I believe I'll purchase that on my way home.
Oh joy, because the world needs more people involved in multi-level marketing.
It's her with the big tits.
Oh my god. Alright, just ask her out. Just ask her out.
Do you want to get some food sometime?
Maybe there'll be another ending.
Huh? I can't hear you.
Do you want to get some food sometime? I walked closer to the receptionist.
Oh, you asked me out before, didn't you?
Oh, you remember that world line.
But it's kind of complicated. I told you, I am reptilian.
That's not a deal breaker.
But you were just joking, right?
No, I'm serious. I only eat vegetables.
That's not what a reptilian is.
Huh.
I am fairly sure she means vegetarian.
You know, I don't know the word for vegetarian in Japanese.
Maybe it's similar?
Presumably.
So about Iris!
What? You're too far away. I can't hear you.
I walked closer to the receptionist so I could walk back away from the receptionist so I could walk closer to the receptionist again to ask her the next thing.
Oh, I can't believe Tessa became a victim too. It's like, seriously, can you not?
Yeah, I know. What was she thinking?
What if I'm next? Freaks me out. Date, could you introduce me to some big, strong man who can protect me?
I don't know how to take that.
Nah. I'm sure you'll be fine on your own.
Yeah?
No, I'll totally die.
Okay, I'm gonna walk all the way across the room, sit down on this sofa, and then yell at you again.
How's the business?
What? You gotta come closer. I can't hear you.
I'll take any excuse to walk closer to you.
Why didn't he just stay?
Well, what can I say, you know? The biz is harsh, schedules are tight.
No, the boss is dead!
Yeah, hold on, what?
If we shut down for even a date, we'd throw everyone else's schedules off.
Well, geez, this place must be built like a finely tuned machine.
Well, yeah, any place should be able to survive like this for a little while.
So they want to avoid that, of course.
Oh, dear receptionist. Okay. A self-employed taxi driver or homunculus created in a lab? You decide. So, where are you from?
I was born in Kawago, Saitama.
And why do you talk like that?
I don't know what you mean. I've spoken this way all my life. My parents speak with the same vernacular.
I really want to hear what he sounds like in Japanese.
What are you doing here?
I have just finished conveying my client from Tameke Sano's studio. I was informed that the visit here would be brief, and thus I have decided to wait in this lobby.
Perhaps he speaks exceedingly formally. Or perhaps he is something of a de gozaimashita, like, kind of archaic speech.
Ah! Wouldn't have happened to have driven around someone named Mayumi, a short old lady? Before I arrived at Lemnis Gate, I got a picture of Mayumi from Abyss. I showed it to the driver.
Did you drive this passenger on Sunday night?
Oh, I did indeed. I remember her well.
Mm-hmm.
The old hag.
Oi!
Old hag.
I took her on a tour of the streets of Tokyo.
Huh?
Our ultimate destination was the warehouse district in Ariake.
Why didn't you report this to the police?
Report it?
You don't know about the incident at the cold storage warehouse? It was all over the news.
No, I'm afraid not. Newspapers and television news programs have never been much of an interest to moi.
Describe what happened with Mayumi in as much detail as possible, please.
I recall it was around 10 in the evening. Near the Kabasaki district, an unassuming restaurant named Matsushita Diner.
And then they ended up at the 8.
Yeah.
That's where I picked up the old hag. And as soon as she stepped foot in my conveyance, she was already barking orders at me.
You're a taxi driver! Okay, at 9:46 p.m., he got to the diner, got whacked.
Mm-hmm.
Ota and Iris left, Mayumi walked right after them, and a cab got there instantly.
Or within 15-ish minutes. He said he picked her up at 10.
Right, but we arrived at 9:46. Well, anyway, that amount of time doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Then 30 minutes later, they were at the 8, and the incident at the warehouse, well, Date got there at 3:17.
Right.
Okay, so we just need to pay attention to when they ended up at the warehouse.
Follow that van, hurry! I must admit, I found it rather exciting, just like an old chase film.
Okay.
I, of course, insisted that I be paid up front. We pursued the van for roughly half an hour.
All right, that puts him at about where everything should be.
Right.
Suddenly, the van came to a halt at a convenience store.
The Famisto along Koshu, right?
Precisely right. I am surprised you know that.
Don't you think this is weird? You know what? Never mind. Just keep talking.
You're asking this man what he considers weird.
In any case, I knew that the jig would be up if we were seen following the van.
And of course, since I didn't find any of this suspicious, I've got nothing.
So I decided to drive past it. I parked at the 8 store, but 100 yards from there.
How interesting that he said, but 100 yards from there.
While waiting for the object of our pursuit to make its next move, the old hag suddenly spoke up. I have to buy something, she declared, then made her way into the 8.
This must be when Mayumi bought the Odoroki Man chocolate.
A few minutes later, the old hag finished making her purchases and walked out.
You know, I can't suspect this guy of anything at all because he's just too freaking weird.
And then, at that very moment,
The only thing I suspect him of is not being human.
I witnessed the van jet off at great speed down Koshu. I hurried the old hag inside my vehicle, then resumed the chase. We followed them for roughly half an hour more.
I see. If the driver's story is correct, Mayumi did not know that Ota was left behind at the Famisto.
Mayumi thought Ota was in the van the whole time.
Okay. Obligatory are you paying attention check, I suppose. Let's listen to the rest of the story.
We then arrived at a splendid manor.
What?
The van entered the premises through the front gate and disappeared from view.
So
what?
We, of course, could not follow, so we waited outside. I estimate another 10 minutes passed. The front gate opened once again, and the van drove out, and we pursued.
Okay, I'm just putting all this together, making sure I understand the details, because it should have been so in the polar bear costume.
Right.
So Iris drives, picks him up, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But 30 minutes later, our pursuit was foiled again.
What happened?
The van drove into the restricted Kabasaki district. The old hag, of course, demanded that I follow. but I was not about to risk my license and livelihood.
Is it illegal to drive there?
Instead, I parked on the road and waited for the van to drive back the way it came.
A lot of parts of it are still restricted access.
What did they come here for?
I mean, it was a chemical factory explosion, and Iris is quite knowledgeable about various chemicals. This is literally nothing but speculation, but perhaps she went there to pick up the medical grade stuff that she needed.
And it's to anesthetize her eye and to remove it?
Yeah, something like that. Or they were there to meet with other unsavory persons.
But of course, we knew it might not take the same road back.
Ota's story was that he saw someone hop in the van and drive off. Was it? Was that? I'm trying to figure that part out. He just saw the van drive off?
I think he just saw the van drive off, but I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, we were not even sure the van would be coming back at all. But the old hag was not keen on giving up, so we began our stakeout.
Yes, I want to hear the rest of the story.
Okay.
About 45 minutes later, the date had changed at this point. It was 12:25 a.m. on Monday.
I'd be surprised that this guy is so precise, but I guess not.
This does seem to fit his character.
He's just a weirdo.
How do you remember the time so well?
It is totally normal. Why do not you remember the time so well? In fact, thinking about it, I am listening to the two jokers on the other side of the screen, watching as they have to actually go to look at documents in order to remember the times.
Oh god, he's on to us!
Well, you see, I always keep my radio dial on the same station. I remember precisely which programs were playing during this endeavor.
That is even weirder!
Thus, I can approximate the time.
I see. Please continue.
Having said that, I admit that the way that I remember the date when I'm looking back into the past and trying to figure out, well, you know, just memories, when did something happen. In fact, what years did I live at this location, that sort of thing, I'm able to associate it by games I was playing at the time.
At 12:25 a.m., the old hag's tenacious gamble paid dividends.
Oh, did it?
The van returned down the same street. And thus, we again made pursuit. I kept considerable distance. We had come so far, I did not want to get caught now. But my caution backfired.
And he never reported this to the police?
This is so weird!
I lost sight of the van in the Ariake warehouses. Without so much as a thank you, the old hag popped open the door and took off toward the warehouses. I waited for some time, but the old hag did not return. The goose was cooked at this point, so I made the decision to return home.
Okay, so if they went to pick up So, then how did So get away? If
Somebody
that's
came.
what happened.
Maybe somebody. No, somebody did not come and get him because Iba already looked at the cars, the record of the cars that were here through the cameras.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The mooring post? Maybe the mooring post? Maybe he had a boat prepared?
That's not impossible. I mean, maybe he tunneled through the ground or flew out through the sky.
I am glad I had the foresight to ask for payment in advance.
I have many questions, but I'll settle for one.
I follow your story. I have one more question. Where is this manor the van stopped at?
Oh, every taxi driver in the city knows that residence.
Oh?
It is the personal home of Congressman So Sajima.
And since many things that need not be traced occur there, all the taxi drivers get lots of employment opportunities from this location.
I see.
Sajima? Why did the van go to So's house?
We need to speak with him immediately.
Agreed. Let's move.
Thanks for your help, person.
We're just booking it along from place to place, ain't we?
Takushi Ibarado. He likes saws as well as fists and doppelgangers.
My suspicions of him drastically increase.
And his hobbies include multi-level marketing, which checks out from the comment earlier about pyramid schemes. Huh.
I never want to look at him again. We're back here.
Wonder what's gonna happen.
There's no one here.
Indeed.
That's suspicious.
I don't see So or his bodyguards.
Huh.
I do not detect them either.
Huh.
Let's go inside.
Well, this is dangerous. Like, who said you could come into my house while I'm not here?
No one, because no one was here. Didn't think of that, did you?
Hey, Aiba. Do you smell something funny?
You are aware that I do not possess the sense of smell, correct?
Oh, right.
I'm really kind of nervous.
Yeah, me too. I just keep expecting that he's going to come home at any minute and we'll get shot.
Uh-huh. Me too. Now for this large vase full of eyeballs or something.
There's something strange about this vase. Ugh.
What is it?
This is definitely where the smell is coming from.
Wow, maybe he really is the killer.
It's got a bolted-on lid.
Is there something inside?
Maybe, but the opening is covered by metal plate.
The lid is fixed with a bolt. It will not open easily.
Yeah.
Then, as is standard procedure...
X-ray. Woo!
Well, I don't think that, he's the new Cyclops killer, then.
What the?
Date, destroy the vase!
Yeah?
Got it.
What's happening?
Things have changed. I mean, that was So, right?
That's what it looked like. Ugh.
So Sejima?
Theatrical as everything else. This is from the new Cyclops killer. This is how she operates.
Yeah. Oh my god.
For instance, Iris would know that Date, assuming it's Iris, may not be. But if it were, well, no, Iris is in the hospital.
Well, we've seen how close an eye, oh god, pun intended I guess, the hospital keeps on its patients.
That's true. Well, if it isn't her, then so be it. But that would mean that... Well, gosh, I was just thinking, if it were Iris, that Iris would know that Date would end up here.
Uh-huh.
And so that's why this was prepared.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's fine. I guess it's not Iris.
But then what about the guards?
Well, I have no idea, but what it means is this was set up by someone who wanted it to be found, and it just seems every victim is connected to Date.
Yeah!
Okay, like Shoko and Renju, I don't have to say a thing about, and So is apparently his father? Whatever that's about, so it's people Okay, no, it's not Date. I had to think if it could have been Date, but it can't be. Who's got this type of timing? It's like someone had to know what happened in the warehouse. Also, that was a champion gross splat when the vase was destroyed.
Yeah.
And this is hideous.
So's body. Cut into pieces.
That is the head of So Sejima.
Left eye is hollowed out.
Of course it is.
This is most likely a crime
Yeah.
committed by the new Cyclops killer.
See the difference in the MO?
Right?
Do you have an estimated time of death?
Today, sometime between 11 a.m. and noon.
That's about when I was talking to Ota at Matsushita Diner.
It still could have been Iris, but how'd she get out of the hospital?
Yeah.
At that time, Mayumi was in police custody
Yeah.
and Iris was in the ICU of Central Hospital. They have not moved.
That means Ota, Mayumi, and Iris couldn't possibly have committed the crime.
Unless there's shenanigans going on.
Which there may well be.
The only person that we could... Ota is out, Date is out, presumably Mayumi is out. I could see a chance that Iris could have shenaniganed her way out of that, but, I mean, we have to assume not.
Yeah.
Until we find out some reason that she could have.
A wondering what the symbolism is here, because there was symbolism in the other two ones too. We found So's body chopped up in a vase, bolted from the top. Well, I suppose I should wait till we get more details before I try to piece something like that together.
I'm also not positive that something like that exists, but it might. It's certainly worth thinking about.
Assuming that this is the work of a single killer, those three can be eliminated from the list of suspects.
Ota, Mayumi, and Iris are not the new Cyclops killer.
Right. By the way, why is there no one in the mansion?
That's really suspicious.
No bodyguards, no housekeepers.
I do not know.
Does So have family?
So Sajima's wife died in labor 30 years ago, giving birth to their son.
Well, there you go.
Their son is currently living abroad.
Why don't we talk about this part some more, huh?
I feel like this is important. Why are you hiding this from me?
So lived here alone?
Do you find that suspicious?
No, just...
Not gonna talk about medicine, huh?
Date, a call from Pewter.
Are we gonna hear anything about this prisoner number 89, or is that really gonna be for much further roots?
Yeah.
Connect me.
Date, the sync machine is up and running.
We don't got time for that, Pewter! There's been another murder!
You can sync with Mayumi now.
Oh, thanks, Pewter. But there are more pressing matters now.
Did something happen?
Yeah, I found So Sajima's body, with the left eye hollowed out.
What?
I'm at the Sajima household. Send the investigation team over.
Yeah, everybody will be...
Why so?
Everyone will be crawling over this place for a while. No reason not to do the sync, though.
I can answer your questions when I get back to Abyss.
Got it.
Date, what is your plan? Wait until crime scene investigation arrives?
No.
That's what I was
There's
thinking.
something I need to do.
There's really no point.
Yeah, I guess if anyone was going to tamper with the scene of the crime, they would have done so already.
Also, Aiba's got the information, so if there is tampering...
That's true. Man, she's just so convenient.
If that taxi driver was telling the truth, Mayumi was at the warehouse yesterday.
And the sooner we get this, the better.
I like how we're looking at the scene that happened from a different person's perspective.
What do you mean?
The murder that happened in the murder attempt that happened in the warehouse, we've seen it from Oda's perspective. Now we're going to see it from Mayumi's.
And we know the chocolate we found at the scene was hers. Maybe she saw something. Maybe she knows something we don't. Some kind of clue or information about the culprit.
Then...
Yeah. We're gonna sync with Mayumi.
Oh, no car scenes anymore? Okay, fine.
I missed them. I like going around.
Date, a large-scale investigation of So Sajima has already begun. At this very moment, the media is already swarming outside the building.
Really? Doesn't matter. The sync is what's important. If we sink into Mayumi's brain, that might help us find the real culprit.
I understand. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Then, let's begin.
I love this visual.
Yeah, it's really nice. So what do we got? Huh.
Where am I?
I see.
Where is this?
Like, she too is probably lost in here. And I mean, who knows if we'll even see anything about the warehouse at all?
Yeah.
It might just kind of be meandering through random memories, or we'll see part of the warehouse, but just a chunk is going to be gone. Things might fade in and out.
Oh, silly
yeah!
me. This is my house.
These chunks are just gone!
Oh, that's so sad.
Huh? What happened to me?
This is Matsushita Diner, though it looks odd. Likely an effect of the dementia.
I can't help but notice that this looks similar to Date's apartment from the first Somnium after you punch Bonesy. Like chunks were missing.
That's true.
Then we need to help remind her.
Which, it's consistent. It is the same thing, after all. Well, a lack of memories.
Do you think such a thing can be done?
This diner means everything to Mayumi. If we do what we did last time and reproduce the actions from Mayumi's memories, we could help her remember everything.
Is this what you call your intuition?
Told you it was useful.
Well, do you have a better idea?
Well, if we must. Somnium scan, activate!
I hope we don't have reduced time limit.
That's plausible. The diner. The house?
More of the diner?
So we don't even get to go to the warehouse at all.
Huh. Sinking in the sustain.
Reproduce Mayumi's past actions to invoke her lost memories, eh? Seems small so far. Now, Billy.
Yeah.
You understand that yet again we are thwarted in our Somnium, completing it in one go. Man, forget this. It's a little early, but I say we stop so we can just do the whole thing at once.
It would be refreshing to do that, yes.
So yeah, maybe it'll be short, but...
This way you'll get the full Somnium experience in next episode.
Not only that, we'll get the full Somnium experience in the next episode.
Yeah, but I was prioritizing the viewer like a good host.
Yeah, okay. That's good. But what I said is also true. We're playing the game too.
It's true.
We have to enjoy it, don't we? Maybe it does feel like we're cheating, though.